Hello everyone and welcome to my revision tips video. This is a bit of a motivator and a bit of yes you can succeed, yes you will make it through this season, yes you will make it through exams without stressing so much that your life ends or you just have a mental breakdown. So today, or last night I should say, I organised everything that I wanted to do for studying because it's 6 weeks until exams start here in Scotland. So today I'm going to be sharing with you the ways that I revise and the ways that I find helpful to revise, and generally my tips for people who have exams coming up or in the future who want to study more effectively. So number one is start early and make a study timetable. Now 6 weeks to cover 2 years of a course isn't early. I can do it, but it isn't early. So I have colour coordinated cannot speak, a colour coordinated timetable for studying. So each day I am doing one subject. I will cover more than one subject if it's necessary, like I've got homework or there's little bits that would help me with my revision before it actually comes to studying. So I have allocated one coloured highlighter for each subject, and it's very clear what subject I'm doing, which day, when. So that's my top tip for making a study timetable. Mine doesn't have specific times on it, it just has, okay, Monday you're doing this subject, Tuesday this subject, Wednesday, and so on. This helps you organise your time and make sure that and make sure and it makes sure that you cover everything, and it makes sure you have time to cover everything. It helps with your time management as well, because for example, if your favourite TV show's on, then you can get all your studying done and that is your motivation to watch the TV show at the end of it and to get through your revision. So that is exam tip number one. Identify strengths and weaknesses. So currently on my wall I have a strengths and weaknesses table for each subject. This helps you to study more effectively, and it also helps you to focus on the areas that need the most work. So for example, there's no point in studying, there's no point in studying factorising for maths. If you're really good at that, you would be better, for me, I would be better studying indices, because that is quite a weak area and never done as well in tests and prelims and things like that. Or I think it's called mock exams in England. So yeah, this is a great starter point. If you have the time, start earlier and make your revision space pretty and organised so that you're ready to go when it actually comes to studying. So use textbooks and study guides to fill the gap in your notes. Rewrite notes, you'll appreciate it later. This makes sure that your notes are detailed enough, and it also makes sure that you've covered everything. Personally, I wouldn't like to be revising from like an old scabby jotter that I have from third year or year 10, because that doesn't motivate me to want to revise, and it doesn't help me revise if I'm just rereading my notes. So I like to rewrite my notes, highlight important parts, highlight equations, highlight definitions, and then go on to further those notes, which will come later. Yeah, so that is that. Drink plenty of water. So this helps increase the concentration level, and it also stops you from getting a headache, because trust me, when you're studying and you're writing out things, especially with maths, physics, chemistry, all the sort of mathematical subjects, your head is going to hurt. Your brain is going to feel like it wants to explode and just give up on the thing, because trust me, it's hard. So drinking plenty of water ensures that you're well hydrated and your body temperature stays at a decent level. Get organised and get notebooks. So what I've done is I've got how many different notebooks? I think I've got 6 different notebooks and they're all different colours for all my different subjects. As I said, I'll study 7, but for some subjects it doesn't need a whole notebook. It just needs a few pages or something like that. So it's really just going to be a mixture of everything. But for history, modern, English, chemistry and physics, all of them will need quite a lot of room for notes. So, modern studies, I don't know whether they do it in England, they might just do politics, but it's basically politics and everything else. So, don't stress, it'll make your life a lot easier. So, just from seeing people stressing, often it gets yourself built up and then you forget what you've learned and then it makes you want to not go revise and procrastinate, and just basically it doesn't make you study effectively. So I certainly don't stress, but now that it's the real exams, a bit more of that might be coming into play. Plan ahead and create a to-do list. So I'm just going to read out my to-do list that I done today because I was studying chemistry. So things to do: finish taking notes, do work through examples from a textbook like of equations, take notes from BBC Bitesize and textbook, make flashcards, mind maps, flow diagrams, etc. And yeah, that's all that was planned for today. Next time I'm going to be doing the work through examples and making flashcards because I never got the opportunity to do that, and I did study for 1 hour 45 minutes. For physics tomorrow I'm going to be studying, finish writing out all my notes, watch waves and radiation videos. I'll link some really good YouTube channels down below for if you're doing National 5. I think it's the same as GCSE, but there is GCSE videos out there as well that are probably quite similar. Check textbook and BBC Bitesize for any missed notes or anything that I could add more depth to, just to make sure that when it does come to revising that notebook that I've got everything there. So that is my plan for tomorrow. I probably won't get all of that done, but yet again I've got 6 weeks so I can spread it out. Make mind maps, flowcharts, flashcards, etc. and your own study guides. So as you can see, there's a little example of a mind map here, but I've been making flowcharts today of hydrocarbons and carbohydrates. So these are like just go-to things before the exam, like if you want to refresh your memory or whatever, and stick them up around your wall. Just do whatever it takes really to memorise and everything. Don't just read your notes because that ain't effective. Trust me, it's not going to stick in your brain as much if you just read your notes. Rewrite notes, make mind maps, make flashcards, teach it to someone else, do equations, do past papers. That is the next tip. Well, not the next one, but oops. Tip number 8, aim to study for at least 1 hour every day. So that is the minimum time that I like to study for. That is when I can get everything done and cover a decent amount of stuff. It just depends on how fast you write and how fast you take things in. For me, I need to keep on going over notes and things like that. So I just have time to take it in as I write for an hour and make flashcards and everything. That covers everything that I need to do for that day. Do past papers. That is the next tip, revision tip number 9. These are obviously so useful because they are basically they're exams from past years. So the best way to know what is going to be in the exam is to look at past papers, because there's only so many ways that they can ask a question. Make an exam calendar. Sorry for the spelling mistakes here, I quickly typed this up. So what I've done is, all my exams take place in May, so I have printed off a calendar of May and wrote in what exam is when, what time and stuff. and I've got 2 exams every week apart from the last week. So I've highlighted it as well to make it bold, just so I can roughly see when my exams are and how much time I've got in between them. I think the maximum I've got in between my exams are like 4 days. Yeah, 4 days. But it's fine, because that's them all out of the way quickly, and then I've got 2 weeks at the end of study leave. So thank you so much for watching, and another video will be going up soon of how my revision space is set out and how I revise and my after school routine and stuff. So yeah, that will be coming soon. Watch out for that. See ya!